A nation shaken, the Myanmar earthquake. On April 1, 2025, a devastating earthquake struck the heart of Myanmar. Registering a powerful 7.7 on the Richter scale, the quake's epicenter was located near Mandalay, the country's second-largest city. The tremors were felt across Southeast Asia, causing panic and destruction. Buildings crumbled, roads buckled, and communication lines were severed. The world watched in horror as the scale of the disaster became clear. The initial quake was just the beginning. Aftershocks, some almost as powerful as the first tremor, continued to rock the region for days. These aftershocks hampered rescue efforts and caused further damage. The already vulnerable infrastructure was pushed to its breaking point. The earthquake's impact extended beyond Myanmar's borders. In neighboring Thailand, a skyscraper under construction in Bangkok collapsed, killing over a dozen people. The disaster served as a stark reminder of the destructive power of nature and the interconnectedness of the region. The human cost stories of loss and survival. As the dust settled, the true cost of the earthquake began to emerge. The death toll climbed rapidly, with official figures from Myanmar's military junta reporting over 2,700 confirmed fatalities. However, aid agencies on the ground feared this number was just the tip of the iceberg. Thousands more were injured, many critically. Hospitals, already strained under the weight of the ongoing pandemic, were overwhelmed with casualties. The earthquake's impact was felt most acutely by families who lost loved ones, homes, and livelihoods. Stories of loss and survival began to emerge from the disaster zone. One particularly harrowing account involved a 63-year-old woman who was pulled from the rubble after being trapped for 91 agonizing hours. Her rescue offered a glimmer of hope in the face of overwhelming tragedy. Yet, for every story of survival, there were countless others of unimaginable loss. Hope amidst the rubble rescue efforts and challenges. In the immediate aftermath of the earthquake, a massive rescue and relief effort swung into action. First responders, both local and international, raced against time to search for survivors trapped beneath the debris. Sniffer dogs were deployed to locate signs of life, while heavy machinery helped clear the rubble. However, the rescue efforts faced significant challenges. The widespread damage to infrastructure made it difficult to access some of the worst-hit areas. The ongoing aftershocks posed a constant threat to rescue workers, forcing them to pause operations at times. Despite these challenges, the rescue teams remained resolute in their mission. Volunteers from across Myanmar and around the world poured into the affected regions, offering their time, skills, and resources. Field hospitals were set up to provide medical care to the injured, while makeshift shelters offered temporary refuge to those who had lost their homes. A world responds international aid and its critics. As the world witnessed the scale of the disaster in Myanmar, offers of aid and assistance poured in from governments, international organizations, and individuals. The United States pledged $2 million in initial aid, while other countries, including China, Japan, and members of the European Union, also pledged significant contributions. However, the international response was not without its critics. Some aid groups, such as Oxfam America, argued that the U.S. government's response was slow and inadequate, particularly given the urgency of the situation. They pointed out that the initial 72 hours after a disaster are crucial for finding survivors, and that delays in aid could cost lives. Others raised concerns about the Myanmar military junta's handling of the aid effort. Given the junta's history of corruption and human rights abuses, there were worries that aid might not reach those who needed it most. Despite these challenges, the international community remained committed to supporting Myanmar in its hour of need.